Hi evening everyone, it's Erkan here. It's Wednesday the 6th of October, late in the evening for me, and I just thought I'd put some thoughts out there. Um, Been speaking to a lot of people lately, seen a lot of noise on social media sites. We had Facebook down with WhatsApp and Instagram just recently, as many of you will know. Um, I think one really needs to be creating a space in yourself, one of resilience, developing the ability to respond to the changing circumstances that we find ourselves in. I, for one, will be thinking a lot about and taking action around preparation, food. So stock up on your food. I would say at least 3 to 6 months. There's loads of brilliant videos out there that can talk about food prepping and getting yourself stocked up. Have water available if water's cut. Have power solutions if the electricity is cut. I know as an audience we're all in different parts of the world and you'll have different circumstances to contend with, climate, weather, local amenities, supplies, whether you're in the city. One of the things I've heard people say over and over again, get out of the cities if you can, because things could get quite desperate. And also prepare yourself mentally, prepare yourself emotionally, spiritually. This is a psychological assault on us all. If you still think it's about a virus and your well-being, I would say then you're really missing all the signs. And I don't say that with any arrogance or a desire to put you down in any way, but you need to do some research. You need to say to yourself, what if it isn't the story I'm being told? What if I've trusted my government, I've trusted my councillors, I've trusted my police, I've trusted the NHS, I've trusted the medical services, and I've blindly trusted them, or when I haven't, I've gone to the media, the mass media, the news, the TV, the radio, the papers, the magazines, the films, the books, the mass consciousness, that spectrum. I would say start to question it and start to look away from it. There are many people you probably know that have been saying things that are sounding weird, odd. You might laugh it off, you might think they're conspiracy theories. But for those of us who've been researching for possibly 2-3 decades, or even the last 18 months, have seen what many out there haven't seen. So this requirement to be jabbed with experimental solutions that we don't know what's in them. Those have gone ahead. People who've had those jabs are more likely to be ill and more likely to be seriously ill. They don't stop you getting ill or passing on any illness. So you've got to ask yourself, what are they really for? Notice the messaging that you're seeing on the telly and the radio and the mass media, and look at how much fear, how much requesting your compliance, requesting that you do whatever you need to do for the greater good. In other words, you as an individual is not important, and you need to do it for the greater good. You need to put a mask on to protect others. You need to vaccinate or inject for others. So just ask yourself, when in history has that ever been the case? When in history? It's never been the case. Now, I know you could rebut everything I've said. I'm not interested in you, and I'm not interested in your rebuttal. What I'm interested in is just stop for a moment and just question it objectively. And as objectively, as subjectively and as objectively as you can be about it. And notice how much of what you think is happening is what you've been told by the mass media, by your conditioning, by the mass influencers. And then ask yourself, well, what do I think about this? You may have had the first injection, you may have had the second, and now they're saying there's a booster on the way, and they're now saying you can't go into stadiums, you can't go into restaurants, you might not be able to fly or travel. So you're putting yourself in a camp where you get to continue those rights inalienable rights, human rights, by taking on a process that it literally puts you into a medical experiment, which the people and the entities or the organisations doing those experiments have no liabilities. There's zero liability for your well-being, your future, your health, and there's been many, many adverse reactions. There's been many, many serious outcomes of these injections, and that's not conspiracy, that's not anything to debate. It's clear. There's been many, many deaths. I think a lot of them are being hidden. The reporting systems that we see in the US and the UK, MHRA and the VAERS system in the US, there's a huge amount of controversy around what they're showing and what they're not showing. El Salvador have given all their people or sent out packs of vitamins, minerals, ivermectin, antibiotics, like really well-being packs. India pretty much has eradicated it. Japan has eradicated it. There's countries that haven't locked down, haven't worn face masks, and they're no worse. They're not worse off, and they're back on track, getting on with their normal societal activities. So wherever you are on the curve, whether you're right at the front of it, you know, looking at all the cutting edge, nuanced information, or you're early majority or late majority, or right out the back, you're still using a dial phone, is where you're at, and that's your business. And I'm not judging anybody. I'm just asking you to really think about your human rights, your freedoms, and looking at how our governments are responding to us and are talking to us, and how the police are dressed and how they look and how they're behaving. And start to ask yourself, you know, especially if you're anywhere near my age or older, you'll remember a time when that wasn't the case. So we're seeing an erosion, and I know for the years prior to the COVID era, it was probably done at a much slower rate. People didn't realise unless you were paying attention, but now it's being done at a phenomenal rate, and that's got to be making you think, wow, this doesn't make sense. And think of that doesn't make sense little voice in your head as someone in the other room trying to warn you, trying to say, hey man, you need to pay attention. You need to see what's going on here. You need to look elsewhere. Your old legacy supplies of information are not to be trusted. Just with that view, just go looking. If you don't know where to look, ask. I've got links below this video that will give you good sources of information, but ultimately you've got to work out for yourself what you think is the case. And it may take some mental agility, it may take dealing with your cognitive dissonance, it may take fearing the worst and still looking. But whatever it is, please, now is the time to get ready for some very difficult times. That's my view. Now, having said all of that, I also think that there are a lot of people that are seeing through behind the curtain, seeing through the facade and seeing through the illusion, and I say no, this will not stand. This is not something that I'm willing to sit back and watch and let it go. We've seen hundreds and thousands, if not millions of people out on the streets. We've been seeing people serving schools with liability notices. We know there's legal cases in the go. We've seen ex-military people come out, ex-police people come out, doctors, nurses, specialists in all areas come out and do videos and talks and send out information, protocols if you do get ill. It's all out there for those who are looking. You know, this is the information age, guys, or we've been living in the information age long enough. The information's out there. Now, don't use Google. I would go DuckDuckGo, I would go Odyssey, I would go BitChute, I would go Rumble. Look away from the mainstream. Google, Facebook, YouTube, they're all owned by and run by the same entities. And they will control what they call broad spectrum narrative, broad spectrum dominance. They are controlling what you think and what you feel and how you'll react. And if you don't think you are susceptible to that, if you're getting ready for your third booster and you've been wearing face masks, then consider you are right where they want you. And I want to praise those who haven't. I've met many people who are saying this is not right. This is something very off about this. I, for one, will not be succumbing. And I take my hat off to those people. Keep going. Don't stop. Consider everything you hear on the mainstream is an absolute lie. Absolute lie. Whatever numbers they're giving you, whatever statistics they're giving you, it's just, remember, this is psychological. All's fair in love and war. So I just want to leave you that thought of mine today. I've been thinking about it a lot, and I wanted to just speak directly to those who want to hear this. And keep your heads up. Get around people that see the world the way you do. Learn from them or contribute to them. You're either a little bit ahead or a little bit behind. So we've all got something to learn, and we've all got something to contribute. Connect with people, find out what they're good at, find out what skills they've got. Let people know what you're good at, what they can come to you for. You know, whether you're a trades and you've got those skills, whether you're in medical professions and you can be of use to people, whatever it is, our innate value is not diminished because of what's coming. Whether that's central bank digital currencies, UBI, or you've just left your job because they want you to vaccinate or inject, and you said no. Your value, your stock in value has just gone through the roof as a human being, and you need to know that when you act out of morality and natural law, the universe is working with you. It's in flow. It might not always feel that way, but just look up and just breathe and get present to that you're the life force of the universe, and you're here and you have a say, and you are sovereign and you are not backing down. Okay, guys? So all my love, really proud of all of you who are out there doing it and getting the job done, and that's what it's going to take. Who knows? It's not one thing, it's a million different things all happening at once. Okay? So take care, have a wonderful evening, and it's a new day tomorrow. Bye.